And welcome back to another business Q&A. Here we have 3 questions that I'm going to answer. The first one being is, how do you improve your process? How do you get better or faster at whatever service that you're doing? The second one is, how do you talk or deal with lowballers? And then the third one is going to be, what's the most profitable service that you offer? So a bunch of content coming your way. Again, let me know your thoughts and opinions on these types of videos. If you want to ask your own question, leave them down in the comment section. Send me a DM on Instagram or shoot me an email and I'll try to get them here to these videos. Let's go ahead and get started with this Q&A. And real quick, actually, before this video starts, this Friday on the 17th, I'm opening up enrollment into my online premium course, Detailing as a Business. It shows you everything on how to start and grow your detailing business between sales, marketing, operation, customer service, and so much more. It has everything to do with the business side of things, nothing about detailing. So again, that's this Friday. I'll be opening it up. Follow me on Instagram or get on the email list to be notified when it opens. Let's get started with this video. Okay, so this question says, I am helping out a friend who is running a detailing business. She's been learning and doing this for the past 3 years. She has done about 20 cars so far. Good job. She has yet to find a good and productive system to detail a car in a good amount of time with mint results. I like that, mint results. What system list would you recommend for her to do? Like what to start with and finish and not go over an area one too many times? I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so great question. So if you're looking to see if you know that you can be more productive or you can be more efficient and you're like, man, how do I do this? What I would recommend you do to self-analyze yourself is to sit down at your table, computer, wherever, and write down every step that you do on that detail. Literally, you're gonna sit at the table and be like, okay, first I open the doors, I look around, I look at the floor mats, take out the floor mats, every single little step. You wanna analyze every single little one and write it all in chronological order of what order you make that process happen. And then you wanna see, okay, what am I doing? And it's a lot of a mental, so it's a mental game of seeing what you do. And you can go outside to the car and just kind of, walk through the motion of cleaning a vehicle to help you see what process you do. And you just want to see, okay, what steps am I doing that could be put together? Where can I move to be more efficient? And you want to self-analyze yourself. Like, I can give you tips, of course, but they're going to be generic because I don't know what you do, the products, the speed, the results. Like, I don't know any of that. So it's hard for me to tell you, like, yeah, do this and that's going to make you faster because I don't know what you're doing. So I would say a good thing to do is write everything down in great granular detail and then just analyze it and be like, okay, what steps can I move around? What can be put together? Where can I move faster to speed things up? But aside from that though, it's going to be like looking at the, like going from manual scrubbing with brushes to a drill brush will greatly increase your productivity. Jumping from no steamer to a McCulloch 1385 steamer will increase your efficiency. Jumping from a McCulloch 1385 to a Vapor Clean Dual 6 will increase your productivity dramatically. Going from no extractor to a Alco Pro Vac, which then going to a Mighty Light 8070 will increase your productivity. Just moving faster on the detail will increase your productivity. And a few other things is like, kind of work in chunks. Like, don't clean one floor mat at a time, clean all the floor mats at a time. Don't just clean one seat at a time, clean all the seats in one time. So go in phases. Like, for me personally, like, I don't just clean, for the most part, I don't clean one seat. Like, if I'm gonna clean the seats, I'm gonna go with like driver, passenger, back row. But I'm not gonna do like driver, center console, door panel, passenger, headliner, door panel. I'm gonna just move it all. Like, I'm gonna do one full phase, like one full phase of seat cleaning, one full phase of door panels, one full phase of the ABC pillars. Just kind of chunk together the what you're cleaning to kind of get in that rhythm of like, yeah, this is what I'm cleaning. Like, if you're extracting seats, then you're gonna spray the APC, agitate with a brush, and then extract. And if you get into that motion of working that rhythm, then you'll get faster, not faster and faster, but you'll keep up the momentum and the rhythm as you move along the seats. Whereas if you go from the spraying, agitating, and extracting, then you go to cleaning the headliner, then you're wiping down the dashboard, then you're cleaning the A and B pillar, then you're going and doing the extraction, then you're cleaning the floor mat. Like, that just knocks your rhythm off. So try to get a rhythm going when you're working. But again, like, the more important one is definitely analyzing what you're doing and seeing yourself and writing it down, seeing where can I improve this process, because everything I just said in terms of tips, it could be off because you're already doing that. You may not be doing that. So best to analyze it yourself and see what you can do. And also keep in mind, it's a progressive thing. You're never going to be perfect. You can always improve on your process. So look at what you're doing and say, okay, make a small adjustment. Maybe pull out the floor mats first. Maybe keep them in there until the end of the detail. Maybe don't vacuum now, vacuum later. Maybe vacuum a lot more here and vacuum later. Like, play around with the strategies that you're using. Like, it's not just saying, okay, I'm going to start vacuuming first, and now you're just stuck with that forever. No, one car, do this method, next car, do that method, next car, do this method, and just see which one felt better, which one was less tiring, which one made you more efficient, which one actually like cut down the time. So it's just going to be around like playing around with your strategies and how you go about cleaning the vehicle. This question actually comes in from an Instagram poll that I had, and the question is how to talk or deal with lowballers. Now, I get this question quite often, and usually when I get this, people are looking at it in the wrong perspective in terms of how to manage this. So if you're dealing with lowballers or talking with and a lowballer would be like, either you give them a price and they're like, hey, can you do it for, the price is 200, hey, can you do it for 180? And they're trying to like negotiate or haggle you on price. So I personally, me as an Oscar, I don't deal with lowballers. Meaning like, I'm not gonna, if someone doesn't value the work, then there's nothing that I can say or do that's gonna change their mind that will say, oh, now I see why he charges so much. And don't get this mistaken with someone that just wants more information about your services, right? So there are people that are just genuinely curious on why is it more, like they want value and they just want to see like, why do you charge more, and maybe just have a few questions. But then there's others that you just instantly can tell, like their voice inflection, like how they talk to you, that they're not gonna pay your price, and they're gonna like argue with you like, why is it so expensive? Well, like yada yada yada. And it's like with those type of people that like just strictly are based on price, you don't want to deal with them. And I know like you're saying, well, I'm just getting started, like I'm trying to get customers. I get it, I 100% get it. And when you're first starting off, you are going to get more of those customers where like they're very price dependent, like their main driver is price. But for me, like right now, like at some point you're gonna have to be like, okay, I can't deal with these people anymore because I argue every time, or like it's such a hassle. They're always nitpicking everything. They always want more for what they're asking for, even though I'm charging already less than what I'm supposed to be charging. So when it comes to how to talk or deal with low ballers, the primary thing is that you need to target the right type of people that want your services, not just anyone that wants your car cleaned. So if you were to target someone that values work, right, that values quality work, that wants someone that's reputable, that has great reviews, and they have the money to spend to get their car detailed, they're not going to lowball you. They're going to say, hey, how much do you charge? Great. When can I get it? Great. I'll see you Sunday. I'll see you Monday. I'll see you Friday. Those are the type of customers that you want. If you keep on getting inquiries by someone that's like, oh man, that's a lot of money. Like, can you do a little cheaper? Hey, if I give you 2 vehicles, can you cut me a deal? No. Like, you just simply don't want to. Again, when you're first starting, you will have to deal with those. And you will accept those because you want the service, you want the customer, you want the money, you want the experience. So I totally get that. Don't get me wrong. You will deal with those customers. Everyone goes through that, and you have to. Like, it's just part of the process. But at some point, you have to say, okay, this is enough. Like, I've done a few of these. Like, I'm getting experience. I have some customers. I have some reviews. Like, I at some point, I need to stop saying yes to all these, or I have to stop, negotiating with these, or haggling with these people, because usually, more often than not, they want a lot more than what they're gonna ask for. They're gonna be very nitpicky, and they're just gonna always try to get you on price. So, how to talk or deal with lowballers? I personally don't. You need to target and attract people that want quality service, are willing to pay, and want it right now is the primary thing. And again, that's going to come down to your marketing. So, if you're posting on Craigslist and you're getting a lot of replies from those, or like your Facebook ads are just generating these types of people, then it's your marketing. It's you. It's who you're bringing in. It's not like you're in control of this, of who's finding your business and who's reaching out to you. So like for me, and that's why I have my pricing on my website, because I don't want someone to call me ask all these questions, and then I tell them the price, and then they're like, oh no, that's too much. If the price is too much already when you see it on the website, then we're not a good fit. So the people that do call me after they've been on my website, after they've seen all my reviews, after they've seen all my work, they already know I'm not cheap. They already know I have a bunch of 5-star reviews. They already know I'm highly recommended, and they already know I'm not going to be cheap. So when I talk to someone, they're already pre-qualified. All it is I'm talking to them. I'm saying, okay, like, I'm not a salesperson at that point. Like, I'm not a salesperson at all. Whether it's a $200 detail or a $600 detail, I am not a salesperson at that time. I'm just an order taker. I'm answering maybe a few questions here and there, but it's usually going to be like, hey, so, how much is it going to be for whatever, interior cleaning, a paint correction? Oh, it's going to be, you'll run down and give them the service and what it entails and ask a few questions. That's literally like a 2-minute conversation. And they're gonna be like, great, when can I schedule it? We have whatever. Okay, great, what do you need from me? And then boom, like, it's literally like a 5 to 7 minute conversation. It's not a long, ongoing process to get a high quality customer booked in. When it's a low quality customer that you need to get booked in, yeah, it's probably gonna be a little bit more work because you have to jump through a lot more hurdles to get them to say yes. So hopefully the answer, I think I went more on a tangent on that one, but with low quality, with low ballers, it's really just your targeting. You have to target those that want quality services. That's the biggest thing. There's no like special technique or special phrase or special sentence or the special deal that you can give them. No, if they can't afford you, they're gonna haggle, right? As much as I create this beautiful, sizzling, most delicious steak ever, if they can only afford a hot dog, they can only afford a hot dog. It doesn't matter what I say, where the steak came from, how it was fed, how it was taken care of, how it was. No, if they can only afford a hot dog, no matter what I say about this steak, they can only afford a hot dog. Hopefully that helped. Next question is most profitable service you offer. So for me, it's gonna be my interior cleaning because that's what the primary services that I offer. But with this one, like, there's no one set service that's gonna be a lot more profitable than the other. Whereas, like, it's not like saying, okay, like if you're starting your business and you're surveying all the services that you can offer and stuff, and you're trying to see like which is gonna be most profitable, it's not gonna be much of a difference to where you say paint correction versus interior cleaning in terms of profitability. Now the process and how you detail each one, the process of what it takes to complete the vehicle, yeah, that's gonna be significantly different. But in terms of like, okay, like, I don't know if I should go with paint correction or with interior cleaning. Either one is gonna work, so as long as you know what you're doing, okay? And it sounds very rudimentary, very basic, but it's true. And just look at literally any other industry, any other business. Whereas, like, look at all these pizzerias, look at construction, look at dentistry, right? Each one of those are profitable, like as a whole, as a business, right? Each one is profitable, and as every service that they have, yes, one is more profitable than the other. But as long as you know what you're doing and you know how to run the business, each one will work for you. So if you just wanted to start an interior cleaning business, if you just wanted to do a paint correction and ceramic coating business, if you just wanted a headlight restoration business, each one of those can be profitable as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you know what to charge, as long as you know how much time you're taking on each one. And keep in mind that for detailing, we have it very easy compared to industries like construction, to like landscaping, to where like you actually have to order supplies and like in mass quantities. Yeah, we have it super easy because, like, okay, the amount of money that we use per job in terms of tools and products is like that much of the overall job. Like, we don't have to, like, personally, I don't factor in how much APC I used per vehicle, because a gallon of super clean I think costs like $14 here locally, and I can make like 10 to 1 bottles. So like the math on that, it's not something that you have to really have to worry about in terms of, is this affecting my profitability? Like the McCulloch steamer that cost me $200, I literally did like 100 plus vehicles with it, with one steamer, and it's $200 over like 2 years. So like, am I gonna factor in the cost per how much that steamer cost me per job over those 2 years? No, because it's gonna last me like enough to where like it's negligible, right? Now, don't get me wrong, the investment is still there, but I'm saying like we have it pretty easy. Like and the way I'm saying this because like I don't want you to overthink this in terms of like, oh my god, like so how much liquid am I using per detail? How many strokes of a brush am I using, and how much does a bristle decrease that I have to factor in? Like you don't have to do any of that. Now, once it grows higher and higher, yeah, like inventory actually becomes a problem, and you have to actually like manage all that. So yeah, but that's like way down the line, way when you're like have multiple vehicles, multiple employees, you're actually doing volume. At that point, it might become a problem. But other than that, just you don't have to worry too much about the products. I kind of went a bit on a tangent because it was about the most profitable service, but I think this all ties in together. Where like you don't have to be so like. Now, I would say, like, with something like headlight restoration, okay, maybe. There's a bit more cost involved because of the sandpaper, because it is a bit more expensive, because, you know, it's a bit more time-consuming. So if there is one, I will say wet sanding, because even with paint correction, you can use those pads for a pretty good time if you take care of them. Your machine's not going to break down over the next 3 months. So, again, there are costs associated with each service. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying don't overcomplicate it to where you're saying, okay, I bought this polisher, like, and you're trying to do the math on yada yada yada, or like the pad, like I just wouldn't worry about that in the beginning because it's really unnecessary and you're just overcomplicating something that can be very, very simple. So yeah, so for us, like I was like, and I know a lot of people are always like, oh, like the detailing industry is so easy to get into and all this competition and like, you know, how am I supposed to charge, right? Like, you know, it's gonna get harder and harder, and like, you know, anyone and everyone is trying to offer a car wash or detailing services, and it's like, yeah, because it's easy. And what's wrong with that? Like, so what that it's easy to get into? Like, it's easy to get into anything. It's about being good at it and being the best at it and knowing how to do it to the best of your ability is the tricky part, right? Like, tell me who can't clean an interior. Honestly, tell me who you can't teach to polish paint. It is not that difficult. As much as you guys want to be so technical and so passionate, and so I can train just about anyone as long as they have not the passion, but just the will to act like to hire someone and to actually like learn and to like put in the actual effort. You can train just about anyone to do exactly what you do. And I'm saying this because it's not so much about getting into it. It's not so much about learning it. It's not so much about implementing it. The key difference between a successful business or a not successful business, or a top-notch detailer versus a not-so-great detailer, is that you're able to consistently generate the results for your customers on a daily basis, month over month. Anyone can learn how to polish a paint in a week and do it on their personal vehicle and take however long they want and polish the paint to perfection. They can do that. Can they do that 3, 4, 5 times per week, putting in 10, 12, 14 hours per day? That's the tricky part. That's the real separation between a good detailer and an average detailer, a good business versus a mediocre business. Is can you day in and day out produce those same results? Can you have the same level of customer service? Can you have the same level of quality? Can you have the same level of everything consistently over a long period of time? I mean, honestly, who can't detail if they're willing to put in the work? Who cannot learn how to detail? It is not that hard. But try doing that every single day in this weird weather, in these weird environments, with these tricky paints, day in and day out, vehicle after vehicle. That's where the difference is. Alright, and that's going to wrap it up. Hopefully you took something away from it. Again, let me know your thoughts, questions, opinions on these videos, or just your questions that you'd like me to answer. If you send me a DM or comment, I might not reply in a day, in an hour, in a week, or in a month, but I will try my very best at some point in time to answer that question. So, I'll see you on the next one.